Alright guys, that was a nice proper run with my Whisky Buggy. This thing is just amazing. I actually got to drive it the way I like to drive it, and you guys got to see it for a change. What I did, I got a new driver, and she's wearing all black, so I thought that was very fitting for the buggy. So, and I chromed everything again, so it looks nice and shiny and chromed up. Of course, I chromed all of the motor and all the parts, all the exhaust. I chromed the little antenna here, little fake antenna, and then of course I chromed the shocks, the shock housings. I thought they looked good like that. Just let me know your thoughts of what I made this look like. Of course, I changed the wheels. I got these much larger, more like a 4x4 wheel on this thing, which gives me a lot more grip and ability. You've seen I was able to drive up over the logs. And stock, this thing, I had a really hard time trying to get it to do that and get that kind of grip. And these are a much better tire for it. I just lucked out, and I had 2 sets of these tires just in my spare box from where they came off of a couple old 114 Jeeps I had for years, just kind of floating around. But what I did is, I don't know if you looked at my last video. Right here, I shoe glued this. I don't know if you can see the shoe glue. It looks like rubber, but that is like solid. It almost feels like plastic. And there's 2 screws underneath here holding this little housing on here. This whole motor unit is just a cover plate for the actual 370 motor inside of there, and it like has a heat sink around it. So it's basically a cover plate with a heat sink for the motor, just for looks. And it would keep on popping off. These 2 pieces right here and here are just kind of just sitting out in the open, and they would just get hit, and it would just knock this thing loose. So now it's on there really sturdy, and I'm able to drive it the way I like to drive it. So you guys got to witness that for a change. This thing does donuts really awesome. Of course, it's 4-wheel drive, and it has full-time rear lock diffs, and the front's unlocked, so it'll do donuts like crazy. And also it has enough grip, you know, with the lock diffs, the rear lock diffs, to get up over stuff. So it's just a really small, but awesome little capable RC. It's really fun for trails. And it's got some slow speed modulation and stuff. It's got proportional steering and proportional throttle. And on the controller there is a little button for steering rate on top and a button for the throttle rate. And of course you got your steering trim above that, your knob for trim. But the steering rate gives you high and low steering. I always keep it on high, it's just more accurate. And the throttle rate is high and like a low speed. But I think it's not a huge difference in the throttle rate, but it's there. And I keep it on high, and I can just blast it, and gives you a little bit extra punch. And of course I got a 2S lipo in this. It's 1,000 milliamp hour. It's a really small little rectangle pack that fits perfect underneath this hood right here. And I mean, I couldn't get no larger battery in there. It takes up every bit of space this thing has. But yeah, well, let me know your thoughts of it in the comment section. If you think I did a pretty good job getting this thing fixed up. I used to have these like covers, fenders and stuff over the original wheels, and I cut all that off, and I sanded all this down and smoothed it out on the side, so you can't even tell that it had anything here. It was just like a plate right here, and then it had fenders right over top. But I got rid of all that for these larger tires, because they wouldn't work with it all on there. And so now it looks like this. At first I had an all blacked out look, but I had the chrome paint, and I was like, man, it looked so good chromed, I thought. So let me know your thoughts of that. And that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit that like button. And if you haven't subbed, think about subscribing to my channel. I got hundreds of videos on my channel for you guys to check out. And I guess that's it. And as always, guys, thanks for everything.